Namaskar. Hello and welcome, hardworking aspirants. So, we are back again with another very important topic of history. And if you are preparing for UPSC or state civil services examinations, Indian temple architecture is at the top when you think about high yielding topics from history. So, let's get started without wasting any time. By the way, guys, we have prepared a playlist of 30 topics that you should not miss, and that is really going to be very helpful for your examinations perspective. When you talk about the Indian temple architecture, you see a lot of variety there. And basically, what you find here is at the very beginning, when you talk about that was the beginning of the temple, that can be said to the time of Gupta Empire, somewhere around 4th to 6th century Common Era. And Gupta Empire is also termed as the golden age of India. And when we talk about the golden age of India, it doesn't only refer to the gold coins, but it refers to the socio, the cultural, the architectural part, as well as obviously the economic terms we do talk about. But basically, what we are finding at this moment that how the temples were basically till now or before this were made up of stone or brick monuments. Fundamentally, they were just a sacred architecture for the Hindus. If we talk about the very ancient ones which we know about, so you have some experimental structures known such as temple number 17 at Sanchi, and also the Dasavatar temple. This is visible here, the temple at Sanchi, and this the Dasavatar. And you can see that what you are finding here is a very modest structure where somewhere the sanctum sectorium, that is the main idol which is placed, that place is only visible. Otherwise you are not finding the styles or the different architectural forms that are available in the different classical forms of temple architecture of India. Now these temple architectures are also guided by a few sastras like the Vastu Sastra, and also you can see the Vishnu Dharmottara Purana. This is really very important, can be asked in the examination, so you should know about it. And temples were actually conceptualized as the Vastu Purus Mandala. Now that is a cosmic diagram which represent the universe and also the cosmic being. When you talk about the structure of the temple, you'll always see the temple is highly lifted. And why it is lifted? It is the because of the Mount Meru. What is Mount Meru? It's a mythical cosmic mountain which is situated at the center of the universe. And in the similar way of the Mount Meru, we see that there is this temple diagram also which is built. Now when you talk about the temples were not only a sole place of worship, but temples had very vivid features, and it really brought the society together. When you talk about temple as socio-economic and cultural hubs, you see the temples were major landowners. They received vast land grants, and also they were the ones who played a key role in the agrarian economy. You should know this land grant that the temple got were known as the Devadana. Now, they were also economic simulators. They financed the large irrigation projects, managed granaries because they were having that much of amount, and also employment generators. How? So the construction and daily operation of temples created jobs for thousands. Also, if you talk about as the financial center, so like today we have the banks, at that time the temples you used to work by giving money, and in return what they were used to get, they used to get the valuables deposited. Also, the urban catalysts like vibrant markets and the entire towns, often they were around a major temple. So that made the pilgrims as well as the trading sectors nearby. Now, with that, we also see that the temples were also the cultural center. When you talk about that, so you see the patron of arts like the classical music, dance, like the Devadasi, they were done inside the temple or near the temple. The architectural marvels like the temple structures themselves were masterpiece of art that we can see. The educational institutions, yes, at that time and today also you might see that there were schools which were housed inside the temple or beside the temple, and also they were the hubs for festivals. So if there was any festival, if there was any celebration, it was centrally done in the temple mandapas. When you talk about the temples as social institution, they were the provider of the social welfare, like they offered food, shelter, and medical aid to the poor and the pilgrims. Also the center for the community life. If there has to be any meeting, any social gathering, any of the resolution of the local dispute, it used to happen in the temple. And also the administrative bodies that played a role in local governance and justice, they manage the temple asset and also the community affairs. If we talk about the regional diversity and the stylistic bifurcation, so you will find that in the northern India, the temple architecture, which is very common and famous, that is the Nagara style. In the southern India, which is very common and famous, is Dravida. And there is this confluence of both Nagara and Dravida, that is sometimes you can see in the Deccan regions and all those, that is known as the Vesara style. Now, when you talk about the Nagara style in detail, there are few parts of it which you should understand. At the very top, you will have the part which is known as the Kalasa. At the very top, you can see here, this at the top is the Kalasa. Then you have this circular Amalaka. Circular Amalaka, this will be something like this. You can see here it is placed like this. Okay, this is known as the Amalaka. Then you have the Sikhara. Sikhara is the topmost tower. Sikhara mostly will be the topmost tower, beneath which you will have the Garbhagriha. The Garbhagriha or the Sanctum Sanctorium, where the idol is actually placed. Beside the Sikhara, you will have Uru Sikhara. Uru Sikara is this Sikharas, the smaller Sikharas beside the Sikharas are known as the Uru Sikharas. And then you have Antarala. What is Antarala? Antarala is one, you have the Garbhagriha, and then you will have the Mandapa. Mandapa is the hall from which you'll pass and you'll go to the DT. The space between the Garbhagriha and the Mandapa is known as the Antarala. Okay. Then you will have the mandapas are divided into different forms, like Maha Mandapa, which will be a bigger one. Then you will have a Mandapa, which will be a common one. Ardha Mandapa, which will be smaller than the Mandapa, and the Ardha Mandapa will be first. Then you will have the Mandapa. Then you will have the Maha Mandapa. You'll also have a Pradakshina Path. What is a Pradakshina Path? Supposingly, this is the temple idol, and this is how you are taking a circle towards that. That is known as Pradakshina Path. You will have a Jagati. What is a Jagati? Jagati is the raised platform. This raised platform that you are seeing is known as the Jagati. And last but not the least, the Adhisthana. Adhisthana is the basement. Adhisthana is the basement. This is what are the difference that you should know about. Very important, you should also know about the Panchayatan layout, because there was a question asked related to Panchayatan layout. So basically, what's a Panchayatan layout? Supposingly, this is how the main idol is placed here in the middle. Okay, and there are also four other idols placed at four other corners. So when you count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the middle one, 5. So that makes 5. That is the Panchayatan style that is used in the temple architecture. So remember that. So this is all the other parts of it. It is given in the detail. You can see the mandapas, the antarala, the garbhagriha, the pradakshina path. I've tried to explain you so that it's very easy. If you can just zoom this, and from where you're going to get this, so you can get this PDF for free on Telegram. You can go there to our channel Sikhara Academy, and there you'll get it for free. Now there is this typologies of Sikhara. This is very important. Most of the places you don't get it. So there are 3 forms of it. Number 1 is Latina or Rekha Prasada. This is mostly used for the main Sikhara, where you have the Sanctum Sanctorium, where you have the Garbhagriha. This is actually the Latina or the Rekha Prasada, mostly which is used for keeping the main idol there. Then you have the Famsana. Famsana, basically you use it for the mandapas. Mandapas style is of the Famsana. And then you have the Wallabhi. Wallabhi, if you see guys, this is somewhere the other used as in the Malwa Parmara dynasty, and also in the Udeshwara temple. You can see this is quite very visible. Then there are some temples which you should know about, like for an important example, the Khajuraho group of monuments. It is an example of the Nagara architecture, and it was built by Chandela dynasty between the 10th and the 11th century. You should know about that, who built it and whose actual worship is going on there. Then you have the Kandariya Mahadev temple. This is what is given here, the Kandariya Mahadev temple, and it is obviously a Saivite temple. Mahadev word itself talks about it, and the entire structure is resting on a massive Jagati. What was the Jagati? That was the platform. Okay, and then Adhisthana was the basement. Lakshmana temple, that is built in 954 common era by the Chandela king Dhanga. The Lakshmana temple is pristine example of the Panchayatan layout. Remember Panchayatan, where there will be four idols at the four sides, and in the middle there will be the main idol dedicated to Lord Vishnu. This is, and the temple is elevated on a high platform again. Then let's talk about the Dravida style. If you see the Dravida style, here you have a new name which is known as Gopuram. What is a Gopuram? Gopuram is nothing but the entrance. It is the entrance. It is like the main gate of the temple. That is the Gopuram. Then you see the mandapas here are quite very distinctive, and the Sikhara, this is the part of the Sikhara, the same Sikhara that we have said. And then you also have the Vimana, the adjoining area, that is known as the Vimana. Now this all the parts we have already seen. The one thing that you should understand here, which is really very important, first and foremost, what is this pyramid shaped Vimana? So the main temple tower housing the Garbhagriha is termed as the Vimana here. This is what you should understand. Also, this Puskarini. What is this Puskarini? This was not there in the Nagara. It was not there in the Nagara style, but it is there in Dravida style. So the integration of large water reservoir or step tanks within the temple enclosure, this is known as the Puskarini or the temple tank. This is very important. So you should know what is Puskarini. Puskarini is the temple tank which is there. If you also talk about the temple structure, again, let's see the from the very beginning. At the top, you have the Sikhara, then you have the Gopuram or the dome. This is the Gopuram or the dome. Then you have the Vimana, that is the tower here. This is what we were saying, the Sikhara. And then you have the Garbhagriha or the sanctum sanctorium is the place where you keep the idol. And apart from them, at the very beginning, the gate is known as what? The gate is known as the Gopuram. Also, the hallway that is there, that is also known as Torana. That is known as a Torana. Sometimes you also have the Stambha. You will have a stump in southern Indian temples. You will have a stump, long stump is there, which is there. This is sometimes, something like this at the top also they keep. So that is there. Remember Adhisthana. Adhisthana is the base. Both the places you will have the Adhisthana. Then there comes the role of Pallava dynasty when you talk about the South Indian temple, or you talk about this style. The So temple of Mahabalipuram, very famous, 8th century common era Pallava king Narasimhavarman II, that is the Rajasimha. He built this monument, and very unique feature of it is built from the blocks of granite. And also the So temple features are early tired pyramidal vimanas. That's quite a feature that you should remember. Then comes obviously the Cholas Brihadeshwara temple of Thanjavur. Cholas are quite very much in the news always, because they were not only ruling the southern India but also the Southeast Asia. So that's why it becomes very important. Built by Raja Raja Chola I. This Brihadeshwara temple represent the peak of Dravidian architecture. This is what you should know. Then comes the Vesara style. Vesara style is a Karnataka Dravid tradition. So it's a mix of both Nagara and also the Southern Dravida style. So you have both the features of it coming together. And obviously, this is what you should know. The three Kutachala layout. So what is this three Kutachala layout? So basically, they will have three signs or two shrines. So you have the Gopuram, uh, you have the sanctum sanctorium or the Garbhagriha. Inside the Garbhagriha, you will have supposingly two or three idols there. Two or three idols are kept at the same time. So that is known as Trikuta Chala layout or the Dvikuta Chala layout. Okay, Dvikuta is two, Trikuta Chala is three. This is what you should remember. So multiple Garbhagrihas are there and this is the part of which this is the part of Vesara style. So it's also the contribution of the Hoysala dynasty. We can see there is the example of Channa Keshava temple in Belur, which was obviously commissioned by King Vishnuvardhan in 1117 Common Era, and it was to commemorate a major military victory over the Cholas. This Ekakuta, single shrine. Again, remember, Dvikuta, Ekakuta, Trikuta. And the Madanikas. What is this Madanikas? Vaishnava temple celebrated for its exquisite the bracket figures. So these are the Madanikas which you should know about. Now, the Hoysalar temple, that is in the Halebidu, this is constructed in 1150 Common Era, and obviously this is masterful Dvivikta. Dvivikta again comes two, dedicated to Nataraja or the Shiva. Then you have the Kesava temple, Somanathapura, built in 1268 Common Era. This is again the three Kuta Chala style. So you have the three shrines over there. This is what you should remember. So this is the tabular comparison. Again, guys, if you want this for free, you can join our Telegram channel, and there you will get all the PDF of our classes for free. And also, once again, I'm repeating, we have done 30 important high-yielding topics of history for UPSC or for state civil services examination. This can be very important. Let's see the question. The cultural history of India. The terms Nagara, Dravida, and Vesara are familiar as what? So these are very simply related with the temple architecture. So you can pause the video and see the explanation for yourself. Again, with reference to the cultural history of India, the term Panchayatan, if you remember, I said you Panchayatan, all the four sides you will have idols and one in the middle also. So it is related with the temple construction, a style of temple construction. Then comes building Kalyana Mandapas was a notable feature in the temple construction. So what is the correct answer here? The Kalyan Mandapas is something which is related with Vijayanagar. And you should know actually why these Kalyan Mandapas were there, because they were also used for marriages and other features. So it's very important. Guys, all the explanations are very important. So you should pause the video and see the explanation. With reference to the Chaucer Yogini temple situated near Morena, consider the following statement. So you have, it's a circular temple built during the Rhine. Okay, it's the only circular temple. You see, if you have this type of statement where it says it is the only, how come you be so sure that it is the only circular temple in India? There can be other also. So wherever you have to just cross it out, and if you cross wherever you have to, you are only left with 1 and 4. This is known as the elimination technique, and this is the correct answer. Pause the video and see the explanation for yourself. Let's see the last question. Which of the following is are famous for sun temples? Arsavali, Amarkantak, Omkareshwar. You see, Omkareshwar, Amarkantak, from their name, it suggests that it should not be, and it is not, only one is the correct answer here. So, guys, that was it. This is what we wanted to show to you for your examinations. It's very, very important. And remember, if you're preparing for any examination, be consistent, be honest, and don't give up, because today or tomorrow you will be successful. Namaskar.